Alright, what we're doing today is I'm going to show you how to stop your balancing robot from running into a wall or an object, even if you are trying to make it go forward. Now, what this requires is the use of the ultrasonic ranger, of course. You need to use an inverter to invert the timeout signal, and you have to do a little bit of math and or put your robot down with a wall in front of it and find the distance that you want it to cut off at. Like if you want it to not get any closer to an object than 24 inches, then you could set it for the amount of milliseconds that it takes sound waves to go 25 inches, or so on and so forth. You can set it for inches, centimeters, or a time. Now, with the time, you can use the feet per second math calculations, but I got a super easy way to show you, and all you have to do is just set the thing down on the ground and look at a wall and move it back and forth until you see where it wants to be and change your numbers. So, anyway, here we go. So basically on this, what you have on VISUINO here is, hold on, this thing, alright, 1 second, let me refit, there it is. Alright, now, right now, all we have here is the ultrasonic sensor, and now this is set to 0 pause time. Don't want it to wait to send another signal. Ping time is 5 microseconds, which is about 0.05, no, it is 5 nanoseconds, or microseconds, which is 0.005 milliseconds. Now I've got the timeout set to 2 milliseconds, and the timeout value is 0. Because the reason the timeout value is 0 is if the dinger starts to go off, it's not going to add or subtract anything. When you get too close to a wall, if you're within the numerical range that you set and your robot is further away from the wall or within those numbers, your timeout will be within range. Now, let's say you want it to start, you don't want it to get any closer than 10 inches to a wall. 2 milliseconds is about 10 inches. If you think about the way that sound travels, it takes about 2 milliseconds, that's 2 millionths of a second, to go 10 inches, or 10.6, or somewhere around there. Now the biggest thing that we have is on the ultrasonic ping ranger. You want to get it set up to your in and out. Right here I've got it, the echo, the return line going to the ranger is coming out of the pin 7, and then the ping, the trigger pin, is going into pin 8. And I also have the trigger here, the timeout trigger, set to the inverter. Now what that is going to do is when the timeout is not active, it's going to send whatever value the ranger is seeing. But if that timeout becomes active, then it's going to send what we put here, a 0, which is not within the range. If it's not within the range, after it gets inverted, this for now is going right to the audio. I've got the piezo buzzer set going to pin 13, so it'll flash the light and it will activate the buzzer. So let me get the other camera down here and you can see what I'm talking about. Here's cutesy. Okay, let me turn him on. So he beeped. All right. See, if you get too close, that got mine set to 10 inches. It will buzz. Now, when that buzzer goes off and you're trying to push forward on the stick to make him go forward, he just won't go anywhere because it'll be set to a 0 and it won't add that or subtract that. But like I said, that's going to take a little bit of math. Now, this buzzer goes anywhere from the viable distance. 10 inches, it stops at 11 inches and it sets this to 0. You move it a little bit closer and it will actually go to 0. So basically that's how you do it. It's using the inverter to change the signal from the Ranger for timeout. Now, normally the timeout is for a distance that is too great, but we are using it for a distance that is too little, is the whole thing. So let me put this camera way back over here and get ready to do this. So that is how we are going to use VISUINO Cutesy 1 and the ultrasonic Ranger so it doesn't bang and bash into the walls. You can be going forward and it's going to detect how far away it is, and when it hits within that range, it's just going to stop and it'll back up until it's out of that range, and it'll just stand there and it'll keep moving back and forth. It'll let you move maybe an inch forward and an inch back, but it won't let you get any closer than 10 inches to a solid object. And that is pretty much it. Let me get this zipped up and set out and enjoy. Thank you for watching.